Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're in the Range Rover and we're going to be tackling the climate control unit. So far so good, we've got lucky, but I think we need to look a little bit more in depth into why we're not getting any power to the centre console here. We're going to check all the fuses. There's a good sign that it could be a fuse or a relay. So we'll check the fuses in the glove box compartment. So just drop the glove box down. There's a little panel in there. And I'm going to go through these one by one. Oh my God, there's loads. And check to see if they're okay. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear this, so I'm going to take my mic off and just put it up against the central housing here. And hopefully you can hear the engine's off, the ignition's off, but we've got a fan or something still going, and we think that is probably the resistor for the heater. So we did have a blown fuse in here, and so I think what I'm going to do is take that out and see if it stops, and then in the meantime we're going to leave that out so we don't get a battery drain. So if I take this out, there we go, it stopped. So that is the issue. So to get access to my centre console and also the Hedgehog, I've got to remove this Torx here, T20 Torx, and the same on this panel above. That'll drop down, then I'll just pull this panel out and we should have access. I think it's easier to pop from the bottom. There we go. This here is the unit we're removing. This is the connector, and if I pull out slowly, I can show you where we went in. And I was just saying that I actually had to remove this as well, which was secured inside the dash. So it might be easier to remove this dash panel here. If you remove the dash panel, you have better access, but you can do it. It's just got to get into it from behind. And I use this Teng tool, which I'd recommend you have no matter what vehicle you've got. It's just such a cool little thing. It's like a little mini ratchet driver. So we've got the new and the old. That's how it pulled out. There's a little flap. Just show you under here. Just here. There's a little flap you just have to drop down to remove. It's actually located with two pins. One at the top right, 1 o'clock. One at the bottom left, 7 o'clock. And it's held in with that flat clip underneath, and then just make sure you give that connector a really good push in there because it won't go in easily. There's a little fan behind this control module unit here, which actually draws air in to get an ambient temperature reading to sort of work with the cabin temperature and the climate control. Now, it can really get blocked up with dust. That looks completely solid. So I've taken both the trim panels now off the other side. So on this passenger side there was just one T20, and this literally just to pop out. You don't have to undo any of these screws. Just lift it out and you can undo the wires. Some of these got a release clip lever on them, but they're just hard to get to the right angle. Just obviously press the release tab first and open it up. Okay, so here's the unit, and in this area here, this is where our vent is, and you can just see, hopefully, just how dirty that is. So that's not going to be helping. And then if we go to our other board here, okay, and this is our board, so look at that. And that's what's causing the problem. It's not receiving, it's just completely caked up. So let's give that a clean. Right, so you can just slide this sort of fan housing out. It's got a little tiny pin in the middle here, and that just obviously slides back on. I've cleaned all this up with a brush, blown it all down. That should just slide on there now again. Seems to be fine. I don't think that's worth lubricating, if I'm honest. So I've cleaned up all in here where the resistor is, and you can see there that's now free of debris. Right, we're all clipped back together, all good. Let's get it back in and see if that's made any difference whatsoever. Right, after all that, it's even now noisier. I'm sure you can hear that. There you go. That's loud. So, I do have a backup plan, but let's just get it going and see what happens. So I've had the car running for a little bit now and I'm pretty happy with the climate control. I've had to disconnect the blower in the armrest console just because there's definitely something wrong with the board on our climate control. Something's loose, because if you push it hard, it stops. If you let it go, it kicks in, so that's not really working right. But it's maintaining a nice temperature in here. I've got it just set at 20 and it's just maintaining that temperature okay, and I can hear it fluctuating, moving the air around the vehicle to make sure it's an even distribution, so that's great. But I haven't got any access to these heated screens and heated rear screen, which isn't great because obviously we're in winter now, and unfortunately I still don't have any heated seat. Passenger side, selfishly, is working fine, heated and cooled on that side, so I need to look into that. But they're little touches that obviously I can live without, but I think it's a shame that when you've got a vehicle like this with so many amazing luxuries that they don't work. I think that's a real shame. So I'd really like to get the heated seat working and the fan for the cooling. It's great that the heated steering wheel works. We've got ambient temperature as well working, but we're slowly getting an idea of what this vehicle needs. I still haven't given it a big run yet, so I've still got to do a major run, motorway driving on this. We'll do that once we've got the MOT booked and done. So tomorrow we'll find out if we've got an MOT. Perfect, we can take it on a long run, on a test drive, and we'll give it the beans and see how she goes. And if she goes into limp mode, it's going to be a box of matches. My new HVAC control unit has arrived. This is the old one. You can see it's exactly the same. Now I went for one that had been reconditioned, and I did that because I could have bought a new one for the same price pretty much. It was £100, so maybe £4 more. But I wanted one that had been looked at by someone who really knows what they're doing. They've gone through everything. You can see here it's got electrical contact grease on there, so everything's been checked, it's been tested, and it comes with a year's guarantee, a year's warranty. So that's really good for me. So let's give it a go. We'll stick it in and see what happens. There's a little bit of noise, but not a lot, so I think that's acceptable. Now obviously one of the main problems with this vehicle, draining battery and not getting the climate control working, is the final resistor, which is that hedgehog that I replaced. So I've done that anyway because it's just such an inexpensive part. For £25 I've just replaced that, so I know that job's done, and that means that then doing this is the final touch. Right, we'll start it. Oh, look at that! It works, great. I didn't swear. So, we have got heated windscreens now. That is bang on, brilliant. So, go on to auto. They still, oh, that is just brilliant. I love it. Okay, so that was £95 well spent, I think, because now hopefully the heating system should work. So I can open this box up now and reconnect the rear blower, I hope. So I've now reconnected the blower for the rear and just sort of familiarised myself with how it works. So you've got to obviously have the button down here pressed for the rear to work, but when it's on, it's fully adjustable from the back. So that's working as well. Brilliant. Well, I'm really pleased we've managed to get the heating system working perfectly. £95 isn't a massive amount for the functionality that's now giving me. We've got proper air conditioning, we've got proper climate control, we've got heating in the rear, and we've also got, most importantly, heated front and rear windscreens. They're all working, but also we tackled that battery drain. Fitting that hedgehog has sorted that problem. So the next couple of videos, we're tackling the headlights, getting those working. We're going to be polishing them as well. So the headlights is a big issue on this vehicle, and we do get that sorted, and I'll show you how you can strip your headlights in the next episode. And then the one after that is going to focus on upgrading our entertainment system, and that's a really, really cool video because anybody can do it. It's super cheap and it's using the existing speakers. It's just a game changer and you're going to love it. So come back, make sure you subscribe, click that button so the bell goes off when I post a new video, and I'll catch you on the next one.